Good afternoon to all of you. Today we are going to have the revision of this PDDC Civil Engineering GTU question bank and the important questions. We will have the revision from module 1, module 2 to module 3, and mid-semester syllabus is of module 2 and module 3. So as far as what we have discussed till today is the introduction to the soft computing techniques, that is the module 1. We need to understand what do we understand by the soft computing. So soft computing is nothing else but the computing using the software or techno-computational techniques such as computers or softwares being used. So softwares and the toolboxes are being used for the computations. So soft computing can be referred to as an approach where we can compute the solutions to the existing complex problems where the output results are imprecise or fuzzy in nature. So it is one of the most important feature that the soft computing is adaptive and it changes in the environment and it will not affect the present process. So there are few inputs from which there is a problem from which we used to extract some inputs and we used to provide some solutions by doing some analysis or the experiments. And that experiment is done in some softwares or in some of the toolboxes which employs the soft computing techniques. So yes, of course, it is a correlation between the input and output, or we can say it is the solutions are being provided by the analysis of certain problems. We used to call them as the input and the output. Now we need to understand about the concept of computing systems. What is computing? Computing simply means counting or calculating, maybe among large numbers. Computing means only calculating. It is of two types, hard and soft computing. Hard computing means that we are doing some experiments, mathematically solving it using the pen or paper, and we are solving some equations. That is hard computing, in which we are having sometimes the Excel, Microsoft Excel or other softwares are being used. Soft computing means it is in which some softwares or some tools are being used to provide the solutions of certain mathematical or the existing problems as well. So computation is the process of converting the input into some desired other outputs actually. And computing system is a system which gives the output or solutions from the inputs, means prescribed problems, to solve the problem in a system. Now we need to understand the difference between the soft and hard computing. Hard computing means experimental works, empirical or mathematical computations are there, whereas soft computing means some toolboxes, some soft computing techniques such as neural networks, genetic algorithm, fuzzy logic, neurofuzzy are being used. So the difference between the hard computing and soft computing is that hard computing is complete and exact. Soft computing is approximate and incomplete data can also be used. Output of hard computing is overlay exact solutions, and soft computing is the solution that is good enough. And hard computing's reasoning is rational, means crisp, means we will get definite answer, and soft computing will give the human like reasoning based answers. Here are few more examples and differences between the hard computing and the soft computing. Hard computing is analytical model, mathematical model. Soft computing is imprecise, uncertain, partial truth approximation. Hard computing also means by the binary logic or crisp logic, but soft computing has some probabilistic reasoning. Hard computing have the programs or equations being there, and soft computing evolves the own programs. Hard computing is two-valued logic, that is yes or no, that is crisp logic, whereas soft computing is multi-valued logic. Hard computing is the exact input data and strict sequence is being followed, but in soft computing ambiguous data, means in any form the data can be used and parallel computations can be done. Hard computing provides the precise answer, whereas soft computing provides what we can say is approximately the answers, but which are closely and related to the precision of the correct answer. Hard computing is commonly known as white box model because we already know the empirical equation, the mathematical equation or the experimental procedure that we know already. But in soft computing, certain process or phenomena are being directly applied, and what is going in between, it is not known. That's why it is also called as black box model. In hard computing, computation time is very more, calculation time is very more, but in soft computing, computation time is less, but to understand it, it will take time. In hard computing, sequential computation means step by step procedure will be solved. For example, Pythagoras theorem is there, or any other theorem is there of the mathematics. We will have a sequence to be followed. But in soft computing, parallel 2-3 problems can be done. Hard computing, traditional methods of computing using it on the personal computers or the experiment based data or the empirical equations being used. In soft computing, neural network and the other type of computing which are being employed to use. Various characteristics of the soft computing, you can see that soft computing optimization in engineering problem to solve the problem in lesser time with more accuracy, but your command on soft computing is must. To solve the problem, it does not require any mathematical modeling. It gives different solutions when we solve a problem, uses biologically inspired methodologies, adaptive in nature, useful for larger data management, pattern recognition, input-output correlation, etc. Optimization for the results and larger data set management. So different things are there, and there are various applications of the soft computing techniques as well, such as in the field of engineering, management, technology, communication, home appliances, in the field of robotics, transportation, healthcare, in civil engineering, in the various domains as well it is being used. Now we will move towards the second module, that is fuzzy logic and its application. फजी लॉजिक इज एक्चुअली मैनी वैल्यूड प्रोबेबिलिस्टिक लॉजिक, मतलब कि आंसर आपको 0 और 1, यू विल गेट द आंसर विद इन द 0 to 1. Fuzzy logic uses the whole interval between 0 and 1. It is not like that yes it will be done or no it will not be done. It is something in between 0 to 1. That is we known as the partial truth. So the concept was conceived first of all by Lofty Ejade in 1965, means it is not more than 50 to 55 years old only. So fuzzy logic is many valued probabilistic logic, and difference between the fuzzy logic and the Boolean logic you will be able to see using this diagram as well. Is it called? So you will say yes or no. But sometimes we need to categorize it, sometimes we need to say yes it is very much cold, no it is less cold. When we are going into deeper sense with linguistic means word based answers. Word based answers means what is the temperature, we cannot exactly say it is 25, it is 27, it is 32 like that. We used to call it as like yes it is cold, yes it is hot, like that. So when we are answering we are answering the words as numbers, so when the words are being taken as the variables, then it is known as the linguistic variable. So that is the beauty of fuzzy logic, that it talks in the linguistic or the word mannerism actually. What is fuzzy set and membership function? So first of all we need to understand the difference between the crisp and the fuzzy set. Fuzzy set means the belongingness of a particular value up to some extent. So crisp is the collection of the elements belonging to a group, but fuzzy set is a collection of elements belonging to a group but up to certain degree. For example 20%, 30%, 40%, and it is being written as 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 like that. So fuzzy set gives the membership of a particular person or entity or element up to certain degree. For example 10%, 50%, 80%, between 0 to 1 actually. So in this example, height of a person, you can see the belongingness, and the membership is actually, it is the degree of membership of a value in a set. For example, in a set there are various persons, various values are there, but particular value has how much membership, so that we used to see. So that is actually about the membership function. It is in between 0 to 1. What are the operations can be done on the fuzzy sets? You can see standard complement, intersection and union. These type of experiments and the analysis can be done. So for example, A union B. you know all the entities to be counted, and A intersection B, only the things which are interconnected, which are common, will be counted. So with the help of this you can understand. Union is actually maximum, means all the things will be considered. Intersection means the minimum. So it is, union is also known as the max operator, and intersection is also known as the minimum operator. That is actually, you can see various things, the different operations on the fuzzy sets can be done, such as union or such as the intersection. With the help of this example, you can see if 3 is the value and it is having two memberships, 0.6 and 0.5, but if you are doing union, then you have to consider 0.6. If you are doing intersection, you have to consider 0.5. It is like that, and fuzzy logic is being employed. So what fuzzy logic is doing, the process we know, the inputs we know, the output we will get, but what is going in between, that is actually black box model, that we exactly don't know. Yes, we know the process, we know the phenomena to be followed actually. What is fuzzy relation? So fuzzy relation actually represents the strength of association between the elements of the two sets. Fuzzy relations used to do the mapping of the elements in one universe to the another universe. Means here you can see the fuzzy relations. For example, somewhere it is x is less than y, somewhere it is x is greater than some 11y, and something is in between. So we are having some union, intersection and complement. So how these two things are being correlated? So value from 0 to 1, it is going in between. So these are the fuzzy relations actually. How to represent it, that is what we mean by the fuzzy relations. Then what do we mean by the fuzzy rules? You have heard about the thing if else. If this will happen, then this will happen. For example, two situations are there. If this will happen and this will happen, then this will happen. It is like that. For example, if cricket, we will consider that if some bowling attack is there of some opponent, and for example some strong batsman is there, so bowling attack will think that first we have to take the wicket of this batsman, and then after one down we have to take the another wicket, and after that we have to get one more wicket. So 3 wickets in the initial overs we need to take. So if and then we'll get some results. So if else, we are categorizing the rules between the if and else. So fuzzy rules, I have also received the questions regarding how to formulate the fuzzy rules. So first of all, you have to formulate the number of inputs and outputs, and then you have to assign the memberships to the inputs and outputs, and then you have to correlate it. While correlating input and output, you have to observe the natural phenomena, that it is occurring or not. That is the most important way to categorize it. So these are the if then else rules, if else rules, and these are the rules used to make the relation between the input and output. So if this will happen, then this will happen. If rainfall will be high, then runoff will be more. So it is if else rules. So this is the fuzzy logic methodology. You can see over here, input, fuzzy rules, outputs are being there. Inputs may be one or more than one, output may be one or more than one, and fuzzy rules used to correlate the inputs and outputs. Inputs can be categorized as what we can say is low, medium, high, or very low, low, medium, high, very high. The categories 5, 3, 7 can be done based on the intuition of the user, based on the fuzzy logic experts as well. You can take the opinion of them as well. Various defuzzification techniques are there. Here you can see input, fuzzy rules and output. These 3 things are being given here. Inputs will be given, after the fuzzy rules the output will be get, and we will get the output as some values. But we have categorized it as words. So we have given some linguisticness in that. So defuzzification is the process by which the words will be able to give you some value. So the converting the words or converting the what we can say is the area based answer into a crisp value, a perfect and definite value, is known as what we can say is the defuzzification. These are few formulas, and centroid method, which is bold here, is being most commonly used. It is related to the what we can say center of area method actually. Various applications of the fuzzy logic are being there. For example, in terms of the pattern recognition, in terms of what we can say is some other category based answers are also being there. In the field of optimization and computation, in the field of engineering, medicine and electrical and management, in the field of civil engineering, in the field various other fields it is being used. It is a flow chart by which you can see how it works. It starts from the input, then fuzzification will be there, then you will have some knowledge base, means you have some rule base, if else rules are there, and then after defuzzification you will get some output. So it is formed in such a way. Now here is one example that to formulate a fuzzy logic based problem, we will discuss it in the lab hours, we will discuss it after the mid semester in detail, how the rules are being formed. Here you can see the membership function low, medium, high has been given to input 1, input 2 and the output 1, and the rule base has been developed. So if you will be able to understand these three tables, these two steps, and then finally the third step, so then you will be able to get the answer. So we will also discuss it in detail in somewhere when we will have some on the tutorial sessions as well. You can see the videos, YouTube videos, webinar videos as well regarding this. Now comes the genetic algorithm and its applications. So what do you mean by genetic algorithms, and describe its importance? So genetic algorithms are commonly used to generate the high quality solutions to the optimization and search problems by relying on biologically inspired operators such as mutation, crossover or selection. Of course, I can understand that many students will see that it is actually based on the neural, what we can say, genetic algorithms, is based on the evolutionary algorithms, and there will be some difficulty in understanding. But there is no need to get in that much depth, just you need to understand its significance only. So John Holland was the one who have introduced the genetic algorithms in 1960s actually, and it is based on the concept of the Darwin's theory of evolution, and the student of John Holland extended the GA in 1989, and his name was David E. Goldberg actually. There are various importance of the genetic algorithms that we all know. So genetic algorithms are randomized search algorithms. It does not work sequentially or flow chart basis or one-to-one search. It is randomized search. It will directly search, and it has been developed in an effort to intimate the mechanics of the natural selection and genetics, natural genetics. What is the concept of genetics and evolution? Genetics means studies to genes, and here genes means the properties, the characteristics, the qualities of particular input. It does not means the real genetical processes. It means just gene is the significance of properties or qualities of somebody. Genetics tries to identify which traits are inherited and explain how these traits are passed from generation to generation. For example, somebody have qualities and he will transfer it to the next generation. Then next generation will transfer the quality to some another generation. So in such a way the qualities, the characteristics, the parameters will be transferred. So it works on that. And evolution means the process of change in all forms in generation to generation. For example, one generation will have some resources and some characteristics in between. The next generation will be based on that generation, but that next generation will have some other sources and some other characteristics, and another generation. So generation over generation. Here the generation over generation means trial and error process. The same thing which we used to do in the mathematics or in the experiments, that we used to do trial and error. One time we will fail, we will do something else. One try we will fail, we will do something else. So trial and error. So we will do some trial and error and we will get some answer actually. Then to demonstrate the different applications of the genetic algorithms. So the technique is used for the selection, the sampling. Sampling means the samples are there. For example, initially you are having hundreds and thousands of data, and you need to find out some few important data. What you will do in the computer, you will form a program or you will form a model, and then you will randomly it will search some values. So here is the basic GA framework. It is being prepared by me. So step by step explanation is there. So you have to start, initialize, evaluate the solutions. Then optimum solution is reached or not. If no, then selection, crossover, mutation. This is the trial and error you have to go. And until and unless you will obtain the optimum result, the minimum efforts you have to give and maximum output you have to get. So that process is fulfilled, then you can stop. Otherwise the hit and trial will carry on till you will get the final answer. Sometimes you may have to give much more time. Sometimes means you have to give means the particular toolbox, the machine, the search algorithm will have to give the time. You have to just feed the inputs and you have to get the outputs only. So the steps are being explained. You can see it's decoding. Then different GA architectures are there. These are the steps: initial population, then struggle, then survival of introduction, reproduce, propagate, and then after million of years some species will be involved. So here it is being categorized. On the right hand side you can see population is there, some fitness function is there, crossover, mutation, survivor, and then terminate after obtaining the best result. So basic terminologies which are being used is allele, means ALLELE. Allele is the simple value. For example 1, 2, 3, 4, these numbers, particular number is allele. The particular number in one box is known as gene. That is the characteristics. That is the quality of particular person. The particular range is known as the chromosome. In the green you can see. And population means a set of chromosomes are there. So these 3-4 terms you need to understand. Gene means the qualities, the properties. Allele means the value inside the gene. The chromosome means the set of the genes, and population means everything actually. Here the same thing is written. Here you can see gene, chromosome, and the complete population. With the help of this diagram you can see everything. So different GA operators are there. The most important operators are encoding and decoding. Whenever you are having some thing written over here, is the raw data. For example, if you are having the raw data along with you, the raw data which you are having, you have to convert it in what we can say is computational data in the Microsoft Excel or any other spreadsheet actually. So when you are having raw data is known as the phenotype space, and computational space means when it is being converted into the computerized form, it is known as the genotype space. You have to convert the raw data, the data which you are having in the writing form, in the pen paper form, you have to convert it into without having any mistake actually. So without mistake you have to convert. That process is known as the encoding. Means you are giving some codes. If you are having something in writing, you have to convert it into computational, means that is known as the encoding. And after getting the results, you are having the computational data. You are having some values that you can convert into the phenotype space, means in the writing form you can generate some report, that is known as the decoding. Writing a report after successful run of the genetic algorithm is a process of decoding. So that you need to understand. Now the two more operators are there. Crossover means exchange of the information. For example, a person is having some qualities and some other one is having qualities. So they will exchange their qualities. They will exchange some characteristics. They will exchange some parameters, and some other change will occur in that particular person. So that type of the process of exchanging the information or properties or genes between the parents from the sample data. Parents means here we are not producing actually the child, but here we are producing the data set of the next generation, which is much more capable than the previous generation. So type of the crossover is 1 point, multi-point, uniform, whole arithmetic, and Davis orders crossover. So here are some examples. 1 point crossover. For example, if you will see the first figure here, complete is green and complete is blue, and after the crossover something is green and blue and something is blue and green. So that is one point crossover. This multi-point crossover, you can see green, blue, green, then blue, green, blue. So here, and uniform crossover means alternate crossovers are there. So exchange of the generation. For example, if you are a particular human, you have met some person and he is having some qualities, for example good communication abilities, good explanation abilities, you have adapted that quality in yourself and you are doing the same. So there is a changes. So a single person also changes with respect to time. So it is something like that actually. So that is selection means deciding the parents or the samples and then continue trial and error. Example, roulette wheel, tournament selection or ranking. Different methods are there. You can assign the rank actually. Mutation means random change in a value. If two persons are exchanging, you are exchanging, taking the property of somebody else and somebody else is taking the characteristics or property or qualities of you and you are exchanging in such a way, it is known as crossover. But if you are changing yourself, for example you are having some bad qualities in you and you want to change yourself, you want to see yourself different in some coming days, so you have to do those changes in yourself without any other burden. So that is the process of random change in the value or predefined property in a parent, which result in production of the offspring. So some new characteristic will bring. When exchange of information will be done between two persons, the third thing will be known. But when the change will be done without knowing to anybody else, that is known as the mutation actually. It is defined as a small random tweak, means a small random change in the chromosome to get a new solution. That could not have been existed by the crossover. So mutation is a part of genetic algorithm which is related to the exploration of the search space. It has been observed that mutation is essential for the convergence of GA while crossover is not. In crossover, what you will do? Some change in one and the another, that will result in the third thing. But we know the properties. But in the mutation, you can see in the examples, the particular value was 1. Here it is highlighted. You can see the 1 has been converted into 0 and 0 has been converted into 1. In the next example, you can see 2 and 6 have been interchanged. In the single chromosome, earlier in the crossover, it was being done in the different parents. Here it has been done in the single values. Scramble mutations, the values you can done. Inverse means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was there and it has been converted to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So mutation, crossover are done by genetic algorithm itself. You don't have to do that. You just need to understand what is crossover, what is mutation, what is encoding, what is decoding, what is selection, and what is the reproduction. Reproduction means generation of something new. So these are the different uses of the genetic algorithm operators in the engineering applications. Fitness function is actually the function which will decide the fitness. It is very much important. Means it is the function which will tends towards the answer. For example, you have to minimize the cost and you have to maximize the work to be done. So that is your fitness function. You can categorize X to be very as much as less as possible, and Y, for example, is the work duration or the output that is being increased. So takes input and produces output. The objective is either to maximize or to minimize the objective function. Fitness function and objective functions are different, but for the problem of maximize, these are same. But you have to convert the problem of minimum into maximum by putting minus sign out in the start at the starting of the objective function. Then it will be converted into the fitness function will be converted into the objective function. So these are the different processes we have undergone: selection, encoding, crossover, mutation, and finally decoding. These are the single objective optimization problems. This is the simple way you can understand. These are the different steps to be followed while you are running that particular toolbox in the MATLAB. Different steps you have to do. Different applications of the genetic algorithms are being explained. For example, it is the optimization of engineering solutions, construction management, selection of the materials and the different labors, selection of materials and optimization in the quantity, field of water resources for the optimal solution, field of transportation and traffic for the route management time. So these are the things, and for the mid-semester examination or the other MCQ based examinations, we are having MCQ plus one-liner plus descriptive answer as well, and you have to do it in the Google Forms. So it will be judged on the basis of plagiarism as well. But what you have to do is you need to understand the concept behind what we are doing. Simple one liner are just the definitions that you already know, and once you will see this video you will be able to understand each and everything. And in the explanation based question, there may be the step by step procedure of the genetic algorithm or the fuzzy logic or the different applications of the genetic algorithm or the fuzzy logic. So after going through this, you can be able to understand different questions. So these are the questions that you can go through, and here we are having various problems as well. So these are the different aspects of the fuzzy logic. What is a fuzzy logic? Who has given it? Such type of MCQ can be asked. What do you mean by fuzzy? What do you mean by fuzzy rule? How you will apply it? What is membership function? What is crisp? What is fuzzy? Such type of questions in the mind occurs in the mind of examiner. What is fuzzy set? What is crisp? For example, here you can see in the figure the particular value is increasing, reaching the highest, going back. Here on the x-axis 0 and 1 is shown. 1 is the highest membership that you need to understand, and what is written is 170, 176, 178, 180, 182, 184, 190. It is the what we can say is the height. So for example, for the height of 180 we are giving 100% membership function. For somebody else it may be different. It may vary from person to person, because person to person the values, priorities and the things differs. So you need to understand the membership. Membership function means belongingness of a particular value. These are the different operators. You can see union operator, intersection operator. So it is actually not that much difficult. So you need to understand only the values, how the relations are being developed, what are the inputs, what are the outputs, what the particular sort of computing is actually doing, what is the basic phenomena. This is the thing you need to understand. The defuzzification process is there. The flow chart has been shown. Step by step procedure is there. One example is there. You can see in the genetic algorithm as well as who has given the genetic algorithm. Genetic algorithm is actually based on the theory of the genes and the evolution, the survival of the fittest, the theory of the survival of the fittest, different concepts, the simple definitions of the evolution, basic architecture and the terminologies that you already know actually. Once you will go through this video, you will be able to judge each and everything. What do you mean by crossover, mutation, encoding, decoding? It is not that much difficult as we are considering it actually. So thank you very much, and once you will see the video in detail, you will get the revision from module 1 to module 3.